Yeah, so like I was saying, man, generally, I personally feel like it is the planning that actually eats into the actual events. Because I've been to a couple of events. Yeah, I don't really want to mention names, but there was one event that actually like went down at Trans a particular time ago. It's been long, like way long ago, right? There was all this hype going on about the whole event, right? And I feel like there was a point during the event itself. They said the generator went off, right? You are getting like people. You are getting people to want to come to your event. You are putting posters. You are putting flyers. At least you should be able to like guarantee them like a reasonable night. At least if it is going to be overnight, you cannot have your generator go off at 12 a.m., 1 a.m. when nobody is going home. Right? Nobody's going home now. So if your generator can die, and apparently I heard news from the place too that I guess midway there was some fluctuation in the light and stuff. And I knew the concept this person had for the event. The event was supposed to be crazy, right? But proper planning, right? And proper planning also needs something, funding, money, right? See through. Sometimes these guys have the vision, right? But do they really have the financial stuff to see it through, right? To get to the. So I feel like IB guys actually have very crazy ideas, like when it comes to parties.
There's a lot of things considering having a party.
Yeah.
It's not just Ibadan in general, but since we are talking about Ibadan in general now,
Yeah.
I feel Ibadan really needs to step up their games when it comes to partying. The generator stores and all and everything. It's not so cool for an artist, for an upcoming artist. Just the sounds, the organizations and everything.
You get there, they hype this event for so long, and you come and you get trashy sound. Like and as an artist, you would want to perform, but then it's mandatory for you to perform. Like because you already like
me, man. Sometimes, man, if I don't feel the sound, I don't.
You don't perform.
Have you ever had an experience like that where you went to perform and you had like crap sound?
Yo, let me tell you the truth. If not, Dray has told me a lot of things. You dig? Dray has a lot of issues with Ibadan sound. Like when it comes to event planning, they don't really give a lot of like F's about the sound. Like they just put things together. Sound check is very important before the event, not on the day of the event, right? Sound check not for the artists but for the sounds themselves. Like make sure that you have the right sound to impress the crowd, to make it worth the while. One thing I know that IB is very good at, especially IB publicity, right? Hyping. IB guys will hype their shit. They would make the flyers out there. They'll make you see it, right? They do content and stuff. But then the content is not as important as the actual event, right? The turn up, right? People turned up like for the event I'm talking about, right? People turned up like massively. Why? Because it was something like first of its kind, because this guy, unlike everybody planning a party, this guy actually hosted something like a concert-ish kind of thing. And everybody was getting hyped up, right? I remember that time, so UI guys were around. I know if UI guys hear party like this, and if the party was even around that side, if they don't hear party like this, they go enter the place. So you have this amount of crowd like raving at your party. The least you can do is give them the optimum best there. And then they are taking lights, right? The party was not even like your everyday party. It was actually a themed party, which was kind of why I also fucked with it. But planning is one thing that I feel like it's into, like Ibadan party. Because I'm a party guy, honestly.
On the scale of 1 to 10.
Whoa. I mean, about to get crazy.
Wait, hold on. I thought this was an F Dray.
Wait, this is not F
Dray.
This is not F Dray, right? This is not F Dray. But aside from that, right? I like the party atmosphere. Right, FJ is the one just going on like chilling and catching fun in the party. But I like the party atmosphere. I went for sound check before FJ actually like performed. Yeah, so I like the party atmosphere. Right, just being in one place, just chilling, like drinking. But I like to see what's going on in the party. I want to make sure that everything is going on well. So even if I'm going to enter the place and vibe, we gotta get crazy, right? And I have to make sure that FJ, and you know, boy, DEJ like this. Boy, DEJ was at a party, right? FJ had to perform on that party because you did. It's just like mandatory. And based on say Ibadan rooted, I just didn't want to slide those guys that day. But their sound was whack.
Yeah, exactly.
Their sound was whack. Like I couldn't even perform. But DEJ couldn't perform now.
Because it was so that bad.
It was that bad. Like this sound, like just common sound, man. Like just common sound. Like you can just walk up to any place. They rigged that place up. Like the sound. Imagine seeing like very big speakers, very big speaker overhead, and then what is the output that is coming out of it is trash. But then you could as well just go to somewhere else and just get your regular size speaker that would have been more effective, right?
Yeah.
But aside from the planning, I feel like you can just go well to your planning, right? But there was one event that actually did bust my brain recently, right? And that's the Ibadan Music Festival that they just did recently. Ibadan Music Festival was actually pulled off very, very, very well, right? I'm talking from the publicity content, right, to the actual execution of the event. You can see that it was professionally planned. But what might have like restricted some things from happening in that event, the only thing that I know that was missing in that event was, I would not say they had turn up. This guy had turn up, but there could be more turn up, right? There could have been a lot more people. I had my phone at that party. FJ had his phone, Boy DEJ had his, you know, we catching trips at the party now. That party was on till 4:50 something, and that is the first of its kind in IB that I will be in a party and I will still be functioning and awake and vibrant around that time, right? But one thing that I feel like didn't make as much people turn up as they would, because the VIP was sold out, right? These guys, I don't think they made a loss at all. But when I'm talking about raving in a party, like let's get crazy, let's get wild, that's not me, that's FJ.
Yeah?
Right? Because I know my artists want to get crazy, man. You wanna chill out and flex, at a party, because that's what it's for, right? So if it's on that, I feel like you need more people at your party, notwithstanding. You need a lot of people at that party. You need to, these guys have just created a new standard for events in IB, right? Right now, what I feel restricted the major crowd, like there were people there, a lot of people, right? Obviously, like I said, I don't think they made loss at all, right? They did make profit. But the rave at that event could have been madder.
How do you think it could have been?
It could have been madder if there were more sales of the regular tickets. Yeah, in the sense that your everyday. And one thing that I also felt like made a problem there was because of the unavailability of UI students.
The strike, yeah. Like I said earlier, the strike actually affected a lot. But the party was actually cool because I feel like I've never been to a party like Ibadan people turn up that much. Like normal Ibadan people, except for UI and UI students and all, you know, some other people like you come with your friends and shit. But yesterday, what I saw at that party was like, dang, this
from
is really
every part of Ibadan,
yeah,
like you could actually relate.
Yeah, students were not around and the party was still very lit. The performance was crazy and shit, man.
Yo, boy, yeah, shout out to that performance, man. That
That
performance
was
was sick.
Space out, man. Rehearsal space out.
You guys rehearse now.
Yes, man. Fucking every day, man.
Obviously, you guys rehearse.
Yeah,
I was also there.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna keep their shit, bro.
That is standard. You're going to be pulling with your performances, like live performances, like
yeah, it depends on the
that.
show. It depends on the show, actually. Yeah, it depends on the show, man. Because if you are going for something bigger and you feel this show is definitely going to be bigger, then you have to actually pull out something bigger for them. Yeah, it's just the way I feel, man. And it's for you to mime your songs, you mime your songs, and you just catch your phone. That's just vibes.
How do you feel about that party? I know you were also there.
About the Ibadan Music Festival.
Yeah, Ibadan Music
Well, I feel like it was actually like a great party. I actually did enjoy myself, right? The performances and I remember when Small Doctor came on stage and everybody even though Small Doctor, but still like everybody was
Hold on.
Wait.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean it's Small Doctor, right? Because like I mean, Small Doctor really. We all know what I mean by it's Small Doctor. He has his target audience, right? And I feel like a majority of that target audience is.
But it was a lot of turn up for him.
It was a lot of turn up, right? And you could tell that he was actually enjoying himself because he was so intrigued into the event.
And I actually feel something like apart from our big artists performing and all, man, I think all those upcoming artists, they really try their best and
True that.
What was your best performance?
My best performance. I didn't see a lot of performances though, because I was everywhere. I was just moving around. But I think top of my list, and no shade or no bias because I was there or he's here. But I think my best performance was Dray and DEJ, right? And hold up, right? Because hold up. I'm going to tell you my reasons why. Yeah, I like the fact that there was a different approach, right, to a system of music. For instance, there was like drill, and I don't think I've ever seen people perform like drill live. Do you understand? And that to me alone, it just stood out.
That was
right.
That was just of the Martins. Big shout out to Martins.
Martins, they really did a lot.
Big shout out to
No. Martins and all the bands, man.
Everybody was crazy from the saxophone to the drum to the lead guitar. Shout out to Blended. A lot of people like actually like tried for that particular. Yeah. But let's. So basically, like that's all I have to say about the event now. But basically, do you think there should be something like that again?
Yes, I think there should be something like that again. But if something like that is going to happen, I think we need to include, they need to include UI students. They need to know the time and everything. Because normally in Ibadan, man, we are all busy except for students. Students definitely want to turn up for parties, and that is the life of the party. But man, if you're coming on Fridays, private retired, on Saturdays you want to relax with your family and shit. But only if you have like.
But I don't think it's just Ibadan students.
I'm saying that's what I was about to say. That I don't really think like it's just about Ibadan students, because you hear stuff like I'm sorry for using this comparison, but you hear like Milan block parties, and even it's not just the target audience. There are other people in IB, like a lot of
one
youths that are
thing
not
that I know